Good evening, Eagles Nation. Picture this. Just a few months ago, Jalen Hurts was the toast of the town, hoisting that Super Bowl MVP trophy high above his head after leading Philly to glory in a nail-biter against the Chiefs. But fast forward to Week 6, and suddenly, the vibes at Lincoln Financial Field feel a whole lot shakier. Is our star quarterback losing his edge? That's the burning question on everyone's mind after a tough loss to those hated NFC East rivals, the New York Giants. Stick around as we break it all down. I'm your host, bringing you the latest on the Birds with all the passion this city deserves. Let's start with the headlines from that Sunday showdown. The Eagles fell 34-17 to the Giants in a game that felt like a wake-up call nobody wanted. Now, on paper, Jalen Hurts put up some solid numbers. 283 passing yards and a touchdown pass that had fans on their feet for a moment. But folks, stats can be deceiving, like that time in the 2017 Super Bowl when Nick Foles shocked the world with a Philly special. This wasn't about the yards, it was about the misses, the hesitation, and a team-wide meltdown that left the offense sputtering like a classic car running on fumes. Diving deeper into the analysis, the real story here is Hurts' mounting fears around turnovers, and boy, did it show against Big Blue. Former Eagles QB and Philly legend Ron Jaworski. Yeah, the guy who threw for over 28,000 yards in his career and knows a thing or two about slinging the rock, laid it out plain on Sports Radio 94 WIP. He crunched the numbers from Next Gen Stats. Hurts has thrown the third most uncatchable balls in the NFL this season, even with a completion percentage hovering around 70%. That's not just a fluke, it's a pattern. Jaws connected it back to last year, when Hurts went on an 8-game streak of throwing at least one interception. After the bye week, he cleaned it up, but at what cost? He's become too careful with the football, Jaworski said. Not willing to take chances, he'd rather throw it away, take a sack, or miss the timing altogether. Think about it. Jalen Hurts, the dual-threat dynamo who grew up in Houston, starred at Alabama and Oklahoma, and became the Eagles' franchise savior after being drafted in the second round back in 2020. This is the guy who rushed for over 700 yards last season while leading us to the Super Bowl. But now, that aggressive, clutch gene, the one that had him dodging defenders like Brian Dawkins in his prime, seems muffled by this crisis of confidence. Tactically, it's killing the offense. Instead of firing lasers to A.J. Brown or Devonta Smith, those star receivers who can turn any play into magic, Hurts is playing it safe. The result? A predictable attack that's easy for defenses to shut down. And don't get me started on the O-line. Jason Kelce, the heart and soul of this team with his 6 Pro Bowls and that epic retirement speech looming, can't block forever if the QB's holding the ball too long. Historically, this echoes some tough stretches in Eagles lore. Remember the 2004 season when Donovan McNabb shook off early doubts to lead us to the Super Bowl? Or the Reggie White era in the 90s, when our defense was a wall, but the offense needed that spark? Right now, at 4-2, the Birds are still in the playoff hunt, but their identities vanished. As Jaworski put it, it's not defense, it's not offense, and certainly not special teams. I don't know who this team is. Compare that to last year's squad, which ripped off 8 straight wins with just 2 turnovers from Hurts. Statistically, his interception rate is down, but so is the explosiveness. The Eagles rank in the top 10 for yards per game, yet they're bottom half in red zone efficiency, meaning they're driving down the field but stalling when it counts. To get a sense of the locker room vibe, imagine what head coach Nick Sirianni might say in a post-game presser. "Jalen's our guy, we've seen him battle through worse," he'd probably tell us, drawing on that fiery Philly spirit. Or picture A.J. Brown, the beast who hauled in over 1,400 yards last year, hyping up his QB. "Jalen's got that dog in him, one clean game, and we're back flying high." Even a fictional fan quote from the stands at the Link, "Man, we've chanted, 'Fly Eagles fly' through thicker and thinner. Hurts just needs to shake off those ghosts like we did after the Snow Bowl in 13. And tying it to pop culture, it's like Rocky Balboa in the ring, Philly's own underdog story. Hurts has to rediscover that fighter's instinct, or we'll be humming that chant with a lot more worry. Looking ahead, the implications are huge for this season. A win streak could vault us back into NFC East contention, especially with the Cowboys and Commanders lurking. But if these turnover fears linger, it could derail our playoff push. Maybe even spark trade rumors or draft talk for a backup QB. My prediction: Hurts bounces back strong against the Bengals next week. He's got the tools, elite arm strength, legs that can outrun linebackers, and a supporting cast including Saquon Barkley, who's been a revelation on the ground. One deep ball that connects, and the narrative flips. Remember, this league turns on a dime. Midnight comes fast, as they say. Eagles fans, don't lose faith. We've overcome bigger hurdles, from the miracle at the Meadowlands to that Lombardi Trophy in 2018. Tune in next Sunday, rally with that unbreakable Philly passion, and let's see our birds soar again. Fly, Eagles, fly. Until next time, this is your Eagles Insider signing off. Stay locked in for more updates.